There is a story of a Buddhist master, a Tibetan master, who was taken captive by the Chinese. And we all know what Chinese torture is all about. He suffered the most heartrending atrocities in prison, and somehow he survived to come out and tell his story. And when he was asked, when was the one time you felt defeated during your stay in the prison? He smiled and he said, there was only one time when I saw the Chinese torturing me and my other colleagues so much that I felt a hardness towards them. I lost compassion for them. That was the only time I felt defeated inside. Now, this is a story that stayed with me for a long, long time. We feel that the difficult, the toxic people in our life defeat us when they humiliate us, when they negate us, when they outshout us. But that's not the real defeat. When they manage to take us away from our core of goodness and light, that's when they manage to really defeat us. So, a personal sharing. This was years and years ago when there was a difficult person in my life, and that time I wasn't too exposed to spiritual thought. I had just about found my masters in the Mother and Sri Aurobindo, and this person did something, or I thought she had done something. Actually, she hadn't, but that's another story. But the appearance of life was that she had done something so terrible that it made me furious. I thought she had harmed somebody I cared about so much that it filled me with righteous indignation. And I came close to feeling what I would call hatred towards her. And it was a new feeling for me. Like most human beings, I don't hate people easily. But as the hatred came, a prayer arose in me towards the Mother, my spiritual master, that Mother, this has gone too far. Now you have to do something. And as the prayer came, I realized it carried with it some form of ill will which did not feel good. And I had a thought that I'm praying to the Mother, who is the epitome of light and love and forgiveness, and the prayers coming from a space of hatred. I'm praying to her, but I'm channeling vibrations through my being who are the total opposite of what she represents. And that's when the Mother in her grace gave me a poem I'm going to share with you. It's called The Two Masters. Those who love serve one master. Those who hate serve another. If hate is returned with hate, and a flood is answered by an opposing spate, the consequence is not just a quenching of a vengeful thirst, larger than a deserved punishment's magnified issue, larger than even the question of justice due. It is a pledging of loyalties to the other master as the offered knell of his disaster. The target of the hatred loses significance. The cause for the hatred, its importance. Bold and clear gleams the message from the altar. Those who love serve one master, those who hate serve another. So it was very clear to me that however right the hatred felt at a rational level, in giving it into it, I was being unfaithful to my light. And that was too heavy a price to pay. And with God's grace, since that day, I can honestly say I've never felt hatred for anyone ever again. Because however right hatred seems, it's always wrong, as my yoga teacher tells me, not wrong in a moral sense, but wrong in terms of what it robs me of when I really give in to hatred. Anger, hatred are like acid. If you cook acid in a vessel, first the vessel will get corroded and burnt. Then you throw that acid on somebody, they'll get burnt. But I made a pledge to myself that I would never be that vessel in which anger or hatred cook and corrode me. So do remember this when we face difficult people. The biggest challenge for us is not to give in to hatred, not to allow them to defeat us by allowing them to take us away from our light, our truth, our goodness. Namaste.